Today, human rights activists, journalists, who decide to ask questions are locked up and tried under illegal laws.
Hello guys, I hope this video finds you well. Guys, I got an interesting video I want to show you guys. Our beloved Femi Falana, the outspoken and the brutal lawyer. The guy has come up with full force to lambast Nigeria judiciary, Nigeria corrupt justices. Guys, you've got to watch this video. You've got no reason not to watch this video. You know, I've been saying this several times that the Nigeria judiciary is now full of criminals instead of learned justices. We are supposed to be having learned juries at the judiciary, okay? But what we have there that are executive criminals. Guys, I'm about to go now for Yeramo. You've got to listen to Femi Falana. You just say, I just gave you guys a clue, the intro of the video you watched. But this video, I assure you, if you watch it to the end, you are going to thank me. This guy exposed the rot in the judicial system. Even the likes of Femi Falana, they are not even happy with what just transpired at the tribunal presidential tribunal court and that of the Supreme Court. You know, these guys, what is paining me is that I've said it before, and they are aware that the world is watching them. And on their own now, okay, the other justice, Dito, came out the other time, exposed the fellow justices. Some people say this and that. Okay, Femi Falana now has spoken. They say this and that. The other time, it was EU that spoke. Nigeria, aren't they ashamed of this monumental error, insanity? Must everything about Nigeria be negative? Guys, I don't want to talk too much. I beg you. Just settle down, watch this video to the end. Make sure you like this video. This is the kind of video you're going to share, because if you don't share this video, it's obvious you are an enemy of Nigeria. This is not about I like Oligo, so I like the pain. No, but it's something, it's a news that you need, because if you're in Nigeria, you are affected directly. No, if you're in Nigeria, you are affected. Even if you are not in Nigeria, your loved ones are affected. So long your loved ones are affected with the abnormality that is going on in the country, you're also affected. So please like this video, share it in all the platforms you belong. All right, this is a video that is worth sharing. God bless you. I will see you in my next video.
So Dr. Kuti got this information Wednesday and rushed to my office the following morning. I mean, of course, we didn't have, these funny gadgets then. That day, we prepared the papers, filed the case on Thursday afternoon. On Friday, it was assigned. Today, it will not be assigned for 3 months. Unless you are an Amefele or any of these big guys. Now, we got the order in the afternoon on Friday. And Dr. Ransom Kuti and I took the order to Kirikiri. Nobody would take it. Dr. Kuti said, Femi, I know what to do. I know the house of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice. And Dr. Kuti, we drove to Ikoyi. We met the man around 1 a.m. And he said, this is not a working hour. Dr. Beko threw the order on the floor. If you like, take the order. But if those boys are executed tomorrow morning, I will make sure you are charged with murder. Of course, the man took the order, made all the contacts in the night, and the following morning, nobody showed up to execute the boys. Of course, as Richard said, those boys had nothing to do with robbery. In fact, they didn't even speak the same language. Some were Togolese, some Ghanaian, some Nigerian. So there was no common language. So you can't talk of conspiracy. They couldn't have planned any robbery. But the judge was not prepared to listen to them. One Justice Olugbani, he was eventually kicked out of the bench. But we pursued him. And that was what happened. On a particular day, a judge was to jail me in Lagos. He deliberately fixed the case for Friday. So that if I was jailed on that day, before you can go on appeal, it will be Monday morning. Lo and behold, About 28 lawyers showed up in court. And my case was turned to the trial of the judge. The team was led by the late Alawa Kabashan. And you know, in those days, there were lawyers and there were lawyers. This judge came at 11 o'clock. And without any apology, said, registrar called the case. And Akabashan stood up in all his majesty. Registrar don't call the case. My lord, do the needful. And the judge said, what do you mean? You are supposed to apologize to us. We have been here since 9 o'clock. Now it's 11:05. He said, this is my court. No, this is the Lagos State High Court. And as Akan was finishing, Ganir entered the court and challenged the judge, the attitude of the judge. Of course, Commissioner Shop, in his own dramatic manner, said, my lord, where you are sitting now? Justice J.I.C. Taylor used to sit there. He was a judge of justice. And we went on and on. Made it impossible for the judge to jail me. As we're driving back to our office in Eputemeta, when we got to the Tom Milan Bridge, it was announced that the DPP had been dismissed, had been removed. For saying in court, my lord, I want an adjournment. And I don't want anything untoward to happen to my learned friend in the course of his professional duties. That was the offense committed. He was removed. On another occasion, we were charged with treasonable felony that wanted to overthrow a military government. Can you imagine that? And what was the instrument we had? Posters. We had pasted posters all over the country entitled Babangida must go, because he had been changing and postponing the exit of the military. So we pasted posters all over the place. You put a mark on his face, Babangida must go. And that was the basis of treason. Of course, 5 of us were arraigned in Gwagwalada Chief Magistrate Court. We were detained in Kuje Prison. In 92, in 93, we were detained there. So they just told us you are going to Lagos. We thought we were being released. So the driver made some maneuver, and we ended up in a court, charged with treasonable felony. In the dock, we read the charge. So 2 of us, as lawyers, Gani appeared for me, I appeared for him, and the 2 of us appeared for the others. We addressed the court for 5 hours. At the same, the judge had to ask us, gentlemen, please, don't put me in trouble. Because Gani told the chief magistrate, those who should be charged with treasonable felony are in the villa. Those who should be charged with treason. Babangida and others overthrew a government, a democratically elected government. So they should be standing trial here for treason. And we went on and on and on. Richard were granted bail in the sum of 20,000 naira, which was very ridiculous. Because you can't grant bail for treason. But it was to identify with us. And it was a judicial expression, judicial endorsement of our activities. Today, there will be no bail. Because many of our judges have become, in the words of Lord Atkins, more executive-minded than the executive themselves. So the days that Richard was talking about can be said to be the glorious days in our human rights work. Shure here, Fabi and others were charged. We got them out. For a period of about 10 years, not less than 500 students were dismissed or suspended, radical students, in each of the cases that we took to court. We won and got the students back. Today, If you get a judgment in High Court now that a student be taken back, the university will appeal, wasting government money. From there, they say they want to get to the Supreme Court. One lady, Mr. Adesina, spent 14 years in the University of Ilorin. Oh yes, under the democratic government, because the university was appealing. Of course, she won at the end of the day. So the point I'm making therefore is that even when you had a decree that provided, no court can look at this man's case. Somebody has been detained. Our judges find a way out. Once you can show a material departure from the decree, a court will intervene. It was the late Justice Akela Agoda that laid the principle. In 1968, was barely a year old on the bench. A lawyer was detained, the lawyer of the Agbekoyas. Agbaje in Ibadan. Majid Agbaje. He was to be detained in Ijebu-Ode prison, but he was kept in a police station for 4 days before being taken to the prison. Aguda said, I have looked at the detention order. There is no provision for detention in a police station. Therefore, the government has departed from the detention order. The man is hereby released. What would the government do at that time? Was to appeal, not as though we are not going to release him. The government appeal. In the court of appeal, where you have Kayode Esho, Kester, and Ademola, the governor invited them to the state house. Governor Adebayo, please, can you help me tomorrow? Say in respect of what? Lagos is in trouble. They are saying the West has started again. Say no problem. I think they had a wine, treated them to some wine. No problem. Meet in court tomorrow. Of course, the case was heard that day. The Court of Appeal upheld the judgment of the lower court and said, in passing, before we conclude this judgment, we must commend the judge for the case was filed on Monday, and by Saturday he had given judgment, a period of 6 days. This is how it should be, for the law says so. Today, somebody is detained for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. The chief judge has not assigned the case. When the case is eventually assigned, to have the case determined is problematic. Shore here was charged with treasonable felony. For what? For planning to have a protest against the mismanagement of the 2019 election. Since August 2019, this is 2023, the case has not made any progress because we took the first witness, one witness, and after that, the government cannot go on with the case. And what happened in that case? The witness came from the State Security Service to give evidence against Shore, and we simply asked a few questions. Do you know this man? I know him. Where was he on August 5? The day set for the protest. He said he was in custody. Whose custody? DSS. So that means he did not even take part in the protest. He said yes. Okay. This man, Buhari, do you know him? He said yes. Where were you in 1983? He said I was in the primary school. But you read that the man staged a coup on that day and overthrew a democratically elected. He said yes, sir. Has he been tried? Has Buhari been tried for treason? He said no. My lord, that's all for this witness. That was the end of the matter. The government has not been able to go on. The point I'm making therefore is that whereas in those days, we got justice in the courts, today, human rights activists, journalists, who decide to ask questions are locked up and tried under illegal laws. Richard has mentioned Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act. Richard, do you know how that law came about? We have defeated the state from trying journalists under the sedition provisions of the criminal law. And ditto for criminal libel. So they then said, okay, since we are now in a modern age, a digital age, any document sent, any statement sent through the computer or your phone, and that statement is injurious to a big man, is defamatory, you are charged under that law. Of course, Showore was charged under stalking or something. And unfortunately, they didn't know that the law says before you can accuse somebody of stalking under that section 24, you must have pulled the person in fear. We then ask them, so how do you say a bloody civilian like Showore put Buhari, a general, in fear? We want to have Buhari's statement where he lodged a complaint that he was put in fear. They quickly withdrew that charge. So that's what is going on. But the point I'm making, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, is that if we did all that we did, Richard, many of us will still be languishing in jail by now. We dealt with the military. And I believe that we can deal much more seriously with these visionless politicians that are messing up our